We have reached the halfway mark for our 2022-2023 season previews. Feels weird that we have already reached the halfway mark. It feels like we have not made enough. But we move on to a team who is relatively new, and by new I mean they're going into their second season, the Seattle Kraken today. So obviously the Kraken, in their rookie year, there wasn't much expectations, and that's kind of what unfolded when the season concluded. They went 27, 49, and 6 with 60 points last season. They scored 216 goals and only let in 285, and they missed the playoffs. So they didn't score with Jared McCann with 27 goals, 23 assists for 50 points. I started losing my train of thought. Grubauer was your goaltender there with an 18, 31, and 5 record with a 3.16 goals against average. Obviously, this team was in their first season, so it's not like they're going to be amazing off the bat, but they look solid in parts. They had some good win streaks there, but more or less, it was a struggle, and I think next season may be similar to that, but a little bit better. But I think this team's definitely on the rise, given what has happened this offseason. Their departures. You have Riley Sheahan, Victor Rask, I almost said Tuukka Rask, Derek Pouliot, Daniel Sprong, and Hayden Fleury. So you have a big list there of departures. No eye-openers, though. And that's the good part with this team. No really eye-openers, no surprising players, except maybe Daniel Sprong, who showed some signs of improvement with the Kraken. But obviously, he is gone as of right now. Look at your acquisitions. You have Oliver Bjorkstrand acquired through trade. You have Shane Wright drafted 4th overall. Andre Burakovsky, Justin Schultz, Michael Kempney, and Martin Jones. So they do have some good additions here. They kind of improved in every area, it seems like. They got some options on almost every single area if they want to play with them. So it is interesting. Definitely for Seattle, but there is some good acquisitions here, 100%, and I like the acquisitions of Bjorkstrand and Burakovsky, really going to bolster that top 6, which is looking actually, it might not be dangerous off the bat, but in the future, it could be insane. You have Oliver Bjorkstrand, Matty Beniers, Jordan Eberle, Jared McCann, Yanni Gord, and Andre Burakovsky. So you have a top 6 there full of a lot of players who are experienced. Burakovsky obviously won a Stanley Cup. Gord's won a Stanley Cup. And the rest of the guys are pretty experienced and have some defensive and offensive capabilities to them. But this is a very solid team in their top 6. Obviously, the center core, they're actually surprisingly deep now. They actually are surprisingly deep down the middle now for Seattle. And you look at their bottom 6, you have Jaden Schwartz, Shane Wright, Ryan Donato, Chris Tanev, Alexander Weinberg, and Jonas Donskoy. So you have a pretty deep, I mean, they're deep down the middle, definitely, because that 1-2 punch of Beniers and Wright, I would imagine that's probably what happens, but you throw Gord onto the third line, is Gord going to really approve of that? So that is kind of what I'm wondering here, obviously. And then for your extra players, you have Carson Coleman, Morgan Geekie, and Cole Lynn, and some of the other guys there. Obviously, this team is looking good. Definitely, I like some of these additions. They have some good players. I think that this will definitely help them out. Their top 6 look pretty good. Their bottom 6 looks pretty good, and they have some decent depth down below. You look at their defense there. You have Jamie Alexiak and Adam Larson. I almost said Johan Larson. I'm bugging today. On the first pairing here. Then you have Vince Dunn and Justin Schultz on the second pairing. Then you have Carson Sussy and Will Borgen on the third pairing. Then you have Cale Fleury as an additional defenseman. So that defense isn't as strong as the offense. I like the offense a lot more, but I think that defense still has some capable guys on it. Alexiak, Larson, Dunn. There's still some solid players on that blue line 100%. I don't think it's really suitable for playoffs yet, but it's definitely trending in the right direction with the addition of Schultz. And then I don't have him mentioned here, but obviously Kempney will become a good depth defender. You look at your goaltending area, you have Philip Grubauer, Martin Jones as your 2 goalie tandem. Then you have Chris Drieger as a third string. So things are going to get interesting in the Seattle goaltending 100%. We'll see what happens there, obviously, but pretty solid tandem. If Grubauer can really bounce back from just a god-awful season he had last year, I think that would be good for him. Anyways, time for your biggest questions here. How will the or like the overall chemistry with this team develop? Because obviously you have so many players from so many different backgrounds. Not many of these players know each other. Beniers and Wright are the main players that I'm kind of talking about. Because I think that if these guys can get a solid 1-2 punch together, they've been practicing together, they've been working together, all this and that, that could be a really dangerous top 6 there for the Kraken. 100%. Just a 1-2 of Beniers and Wright, or Wright and Beniers, however way you want to go it. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Two very solid young forwards who honestly could contend for the Calder this coming season. Your other question is, I kind of touched base on it a little bit ago. How will the tandem do? Now, obviously, Philip Grubauer had a pretty down season for the Seattle Kraken, so obviously he's looking to bounce back. And with the addition of Martin Jones, he's looking interesting as well. And I forgot to mention, I just looked at my notebook here. Chris Driedger is injured to start off the year, so it makes sense why they brought in Jones. So Driedger will probably have to play his way back into the goalie tandem. So we'll see how that goes. You got some interesting questions there when it comes to goaltending. You look at their point-o-meter, according to the Hockey News, is, if I can hold this correctly, fantasy guide. It actually tore apart on my backpack, which was very annoying. You have Matthew Beniers leading the way with 61 points. Then you have Jaden Schwartz in second with 54. Then you have Oliver Bjorkstrand in third with 53. Then you have Burakovsky in fourth with 50. And then you have Yanni Gourde with 47. Obviously, they're very high on Beniers, and rightfully so. Beniers will definitely be a very solid forward up and coming here for Seattle. But the big thing is that sorry if you heard that. It's going to become really questionable whether or not it's going to hold that way. So anyways, looking at their cup odds are 70-1. And that's a pretty large margin there. And I'm going to skip the brass real quick. But anyways, my question for this team now is, do they make the playoffs? And I don't think they do. Personally, this team still has a ways to go before they become that good team that we're gonna know them to be. They still got a ways to go yet, but I think they're definitely trending in the right direction 100%. So anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, for all your support as of late. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe down below if you are new. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.